Hey guys, Lytane here, and it's come to my attention that most of the stuff on my channel from video games, movies, and TV shows have been on manly sort of subjects, like Die Hard or Blade. So now I want to get in touch with my more feminine side, and I'm going to be looking at a movie that will hit you right in the feels. So today I'm going to be looking at My Sister's Keeper. My Sister's Keeper is a film made in 2009 that tells the story of Kate, a young girl that has leukemia and it is terminal. Her family do everything they can in order to keep her alive and healthy with chemo and the like, but it turns out that it just isn't enough. She needs cells and a new kidney amongst other things, and her parents and younger brother aren't a match, but there is an alternative. They can have another child, made in a test tube to ensure that the child will be a match and thus can help out by donating her body for her sister. 11 years later, it is time to have the kidney surgery, but Anna no longer wants to give it up. She reaches out to a lawyer named Alexander in order to sue her parents over the right to make her own choices when it comes to her body. This causes a lot of strife and tension in the family, with Sarah, the mum, not knowing what is making her child act this way. She has been so focused on saving Kate all these years that she has missed some of the other things going on in her children's lives. With flashbacks to other points to show how they grew up, but this story is one of sadness and loss and how to cope and deal with cancer in children and how it robs you of having those precious moments with them. This is a sad movie, and I'm not going to lie. Watching Kate get diagnosed with cancer and then following her struggle as she tries to fight it is just heart-wrenching. This movie goes out of its way to show you both the ups and the downs of dealing with a child with cancer. There are humorous moments and light-hearted sections of the movie to show that it's a normal, functional family, but they are overly eclipsed by all the sadder and more somber moments in the film. The whole point of this film is to show you what it would be like if your child had cancer, and it does a pretty good job of that. The plot moves along at a steady pace, and it isn't just so generic. It does have a few curveballs thrown in, like the start where Anna tries to sue her parents to the rights of her own body. The characters are all acted pretty well, with like Brian, the dad, played by Jason Patric. He does a great job of being the dad that's always there for the children, but he isn't over-imposing. He's just mostly in the background showing off his pride. The son Jesse is a bit of a mixed bag. He isn't overly great, but he isn't terrible either. He's just sort of in the middle, so it's fine. Alec Baldwin is here playing the lawyer, Mr. Alexander, and he brings his usual charm and quirkiness that, you know, we all come to love from Alec Baldwin. He is a joy to watch, especially in the courtroom scenes, because he sort of steals the show. He takes on the case out of the goodness of his heart because he truly believes that Anna shouldn't have to be going through all of this stuff that she has been going through. But the three main stars are where this film starts to shine and fail. Anna is a great character with lots of range and depth to her. Seeing her having fun with the family and then having a tear-jerking moment the next is really well done for an actor of such a young age. She brings a certain innocence to the movie, and you do feel her pain and struggle. Sofia Vassilieva is phenomenal as Kate. Her struggle through both the pain and the influence of the cancer is so well done. She acts with all of her heart, putting in a whole range of emotion into her performance. When she is sad, happy, indifferent, or hopeful, you really understand what she is going through. She is most certainly the standout actor in this film, with many great lines and scenes, and whilst watching this you can't help but get attached to her and you really want to know her fate at the end of the movie. She alone kept me watching until the end. The last really main character is the mum named Sarah, played by Cameron Diaz. And by God, does she annoy me. Where Kate is a well-rounded and acted character, Sarah just isn't. She is pig-headed and extreme to the point where most of the scenes that she is in just took me out of the movie. I wanted to yell at her because she was so closed-minded. Her whole goal in the film is to save Kate. She does this by giving birth to Anna and then using her as a donor for blood, cells, and more since she was born. And then this is the main strife of the movie. Is what she doing ethically right, and should Anna get a say in what is happening to her own body? The thing is that Sarah doesn't give anything a second thought. When the doctor suggested to have Anna, the dad is like, should we do this? Is it right? I don't really want to put another child through lots of pain. And Sarah's like, nah, we're doing this. No thought, no question. She doesn't even weigh up the consequences of her actions. She is so focused on saving Kate that everybody else in the family just gets shoved to the side, and she doesn't put a second thought to any of them. Honestly, if it wasn't for Kate, I would have stopped watching because of Sarah. Where most of the characters are well written, she just doesn't feel like that. I get that they needed conflict in the movie, but they could have handled her so much better. And the worst part is that by the end of the film, there is no real payoff for her and what she went through. But that's spoilers, so I'll stop there. So a lot of it is set in the present with following Kate and, you know, all of her battles with leukemia and the court case and such. But then a lot of the times they flash back into different points of the characters' lives in order to show off something that's pertinent to the story. This is a great way to tell a story. It fleshes out the characters and it gives us more of an opportunity to learn and grow with them. The problem here is that it's hard to follow in this movie. They flash back all the time, but you don't know when it is a flashback. Because the same actors and actresses play the parts in the past, you can't tell when anything is. So it's really hard to follow. A simple solution to fix this would have been to put up a date in the bottom corner just to let me know, or hell, even use a sound effect like Lost, but this movie doesn't do either of them, so I get lost, and it's really frustrating. I shouldn't have to sit there and be like, wait, is this happening in the present, or is this happening before? My girlfriend and I were watching through this, and we were like, wait, when is this happening? Is this happening like after the court case has started, or is this happening before the court case even started? It's just so frustrating. This is a movie based on a book by Jodi Picoult, and she has written other such books where they have a sad feeling, like The 10th Circle or Salem Falls. As such, with any book to movie transition, there are a lot of changes from the source material, and some of them are good, some of them are bad, but the biggest one that everyone talks about is the ending. So I'm gonna get into some spoilers territory here, so just click this annotation if you don't want any spoilers for the end of the film. You have been warned. At the end of the film, it is revealed that Kate doesn't want to live anymore and is done fighting the fight that she knows she is losing and doesn't want to put her sister through any more pain and suffering. The conflict in the film is that Anna, at age 11, has to give up a kidney to help Kate, and this would seriously limit her life thereafter. She can't drink, she can't play soccer, she can't do anything that a normal person would be able to do. So the movie ends with the family coming to grips with Kate's decision and letting her pass. It is a really touching and sad moment for the film, and it goes on to say that nothing major changed in the world and life just goes on. The characters continue going about their life and start to put it all back together. It is a strong ending and sad to see after all the fighting and effort that has gone into keeping Kate alive. But this isn't how the book ended. Jodi Picoult has a habit of putting a twist in the ending of a tale that is usually for shock value. It's like to say that life isn't a story and that anything can happen, so going to this film, my girlfriend and I tried to guess the ending. We got the movie ending wrong, but we got the book one right. In the book, Anna is in a car accident right at the end and will die, so the doctors take her kidney anyway to save Kate. The donation helps and Kate goes on to live a long life and her cancer goes into recession. It's bittersweet and shows the randomness of the world that the book was trying to fight can sometimes work out, and it ends up saving Kate. But it's also a huge fucking cop-out. It means that everything we read was for nothing. The struggle of the family, the court hearing, everything was for nothing, and a random act of fate was what really saved Kate. We guessed that Anna would die to prove some kind of point, but I honestly hate this ending. Some people prefer it, and to each their own, but personally I think it fucking sucks. So that's the end of the spoilers if you click the annotation, so let's get on with the review. So My Sister's Keeper is, in my opinion, kind of worth it. The story and the message is very strong and powerful, and it should be something that most people should be exposed to in their lives, but the acting and the odd story pacing can really bog down this movie. For such a straightforward film, it's surprisingly hard to follow at certain points with them jumping back in time, and Cameron Diaz as Sarah, oh dear lord, she almost made me stop watching. If it wasn't for Kate, I would have turned off this film because I just wanted to see what happens to her, regardless of how much I hated Sarah. That being said, all the other characters are pretty good, like Mr. Alexander, especially Anna and Kate. They're just phenomenal in this film, so I would say check it out at least once. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave me any comments below if you've seen My Sister's Keeper or not. I know this is a very different approach to my channel, where it's like something a little bit more girly than I usually do, but hey, why not? So guys, I'll see you next time. Bye! The characters are all fairly well acted, like Brian, the dad, played by somebody that I don't remember. This movie is based on a book by Jodi Picoult, and she has written other sort of sad, bleks. This is a book based on a movie, guys.